Steve Adubato here. One of the beauties, one of the great things, beautiful things about producing remotely is that you're able to do things that would be otherwise difficult to do. Sure, we'd love to be in the studio. We're a not-for-profit production company. But since the 13th of March, 2020, we've had to be remote. We've had to do all kinds of things differently. And so one of the great things about it is that necessity is, in fact, the mother of invention. So while this is technically an uncut segment, a new series we created, we'll also potentially use it for our leadership series with Mary Gamba and I called Lessons in Leadership. So Mikaela joins us, Nicole and Erika, you're on camera right there. Let's go through this. So the reason I have the three of you is you are three leaders who came on board to be producers in public broadcasting with a not-for-profit production company. You had a job description. It said exactly what you were supposed to do. You read it. You did it by the book. Nicole, I happen to know you were a straight-A student at Seton Hall University. By the book. You followed the rules. And all of a sudden, I keep changing the rules. We keep changing the rules because the world's changing around us. And we create this series called Uncut, and everyone's doing 16 different things. There's a question here. How hard is that to respond to and deal with?
It's definitely challenging. I would say that the not only is the transition that we've experienced in work challenging, the day-to-day differences, working from home, not being in a studio, but we're also dealing with the entire world changing as well around us. So learning how to respond to those changes on the technology front and then also on the content front, figuring out what's the most important things to be covering right now. We haven't been talking to Broadway stars lately because Broadway is not around. So like as an example, we've been changing the way that we're producing and changing what we're talking about.
And what's also interesting is before we go to Mikaela and Erika is that the new series Think Tank that we started, I believe in 2019, am I right?
Yep.
Okay, so we started Think Tank to replace Caucus New Jersey. When we said Caucus New Jersey was going to go away and we're going to create this new series called Think Tank leading into the 2020 election, and we would look at public policy issues, not so much partisan politics, which you can find anywhere, people arguing constantly about or from their political ideological positions. What opportunity did that create for you to become the senior producer to step up to lead Think Tank?
Yeah, it was a great opportunity. And I think that we've done a good job this past year of learning how to create this whole new show and bringing in some really great people, working with the NJTV team, and everything has been really great. But then, of course, things change when you can't be around a round table together with a group of people. So, it's still figuring out what's the important content, still trying to cover the important policy decisions that are being made in New Jersey and on the national level. So I think, things change, but content stays the same.
And by the way, for background purposes, Nicole, Erika, Mikaela, they never signed on to be on-camera reporters, producers, hosts, and in fact, for our Think Tank version on News 12 Plus, which is seen on Sunday mornings at 10:30 on News 12 Plus, and also Monday nights at
10.
At 10, thank you. Nicole's on camera with me, introducing segments, offering commentary and analysis. Mikaela, let me ask you, you and Erika are leading this new initiative called Uncut. Largely, these more timely interviews for social media that then get used later on our public broadcasting or with our public broadcasting partners. When we said, hey, Mikaela, Erika, we want you to step up and be the two leaders of this thing called Uncut, which did not exist before COVID-19. Your first thoughts?
At first I thought it was crazy, but at the same time, things are crazy right now.
But hold on, wait. A month in, you still think it's crazy?
Yes.
Yeah, I would agree.
You mean in a good way, right?
Yes, definitely. I think for this entire process, and just with COVID and even with Uncut, everything's just kind of go with the flow. So like just take it as it comes to you. And so with Uncut, yes, it was crazy, but at the same time, it's just a new thing that we're just going to add on and just kind of go with it. And really, it's just been so successful. So it's okay.
Well, what's it been like for you, before we get to Erika, what's it been like for you? You come on board You've been with us how long at the Caucus Educational Corporation?
2 years.
Don't say it seems like longer. Don't go there. And you're asked to now step up and to be a lead producer, but that wasn't your role. And Mary Gamba and I say this all the time, that one of the things about leadership is that we're supposed to put people in positions that push them outside their comfort zone to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Give advice to people who say, no, I want to stay right where I am. This is where I'm good. Don't take me and don't make me play another position. What do you say?
I would say that you're never going to grow if you don't step out your comfort zone. You have to step out your comfort zone in order to move forward. If you stay in your comfort zone, everyone's just going to pass you. Like you have to do something that you're not comfortable with, that is a little bit scary, a lot of it scary, and just kind of run with it.
Yeah. Erika, I remember when you signed on board to join us, your resume speaks for itself. It's very impressive. You've been very creative and imaginative and innovative in the past. What has it been like for you to be with us as we move from a studio production to a remote production, to be the co-leader, if you will, of UNCUT with Mikaela? What's it been like for you as a young leader?
Yeah, it's been very interesting for me because it all happened very, very quickly. I came on in November of 2019 and I was already at a studio taping within like 2 weeks of being in the office, and it was super cool. I mean, I loved it, but then obviously I got more involved in the tapings with guests and everything. And now that we're remote and from home, it's a totally different, it's like it did a 180 almost. And then UNCUT came into the picture and it's actually been really fun. And me and Mikaela have been working together so well. Like we're always constantly IMing each other, like double checking that we have everything ready to go. And it's been really fun for us, I think, even though it has been crazy and like very just quick moving, it's been fun and I've enjoyed it and I'm having a great experience.
Well, you know what's interesting about it is that we have terrific behind the scenes folks who make our production happen. Elvin Badger, who is our director, who's absolutely the best, and Frank Brown on the audio side, and our son Nick, who is, luckily we're taping this in the summer. He's had time to do some technical things on our end. But UNCUT is produced, this segment's a little bit different because Elvin and Frank are with us, but normally we do that without a director, without an audio engineer. Mikaela, you're shaking your head?
Yes, definitely.
That's scary too. Your job description never said that you had to handle that.
Right, no, definitely. It's definitely scary, but at the same time, again, it's just taking it as it comes, just going with the flow of things and just learning as we go.
And your response to that, Erika?
Yeah, it's been, like I said, it's been interesting and it has been challenging, but we're definitely in the groove of it now. And I'm really proud of us that we're able to do it with such a small team.
One follow-up on this. Mary Gamba and I, by the way, check out Lessons in Leadership. It is seen every Sunday morning on News 12 Plus. It's also on a whole range of digital platforms. Talk about innovative. That was an innovative initiative as well, taking a concept of a book that I happen to write with a lot of help called Lessons in Leadership, and then saying, hey, shouldn't it be a podcast on radio? And then, hey, wait a minute, what about if we did video? And then Mary Gamba is the co-anchor and executive producer. Trust me, 20 years ago, she didn't sign on for that. Even a year ago, she didn't sign on for that. But the thing I want to get to is Mary and I often talk about the need to give tough, direct, supportive, but sometimes hard to hear feedback. Nicole, we've talked about this a little bit in the past. How much of an adjustment has it been for you to receive? I mean, you know, I'm not the best at giving feedback. I can be not as diplomatic as I need to be at times. How tough has that been for you? Even when you're doing a great job, there's always something I'm nitpicking about.
That's true.
Stop laughing, Erika. I see you.
I would say that it's challenging to receive feedback that you don't expect. Of course, everybody is striving to do a perfect job at everything, but it's always going to happen. There's always something you can improve on, and you have to just learn to say, thank you for this feedback, because it's the only way I'm going to continue improving. So while it's challenging to hear, I think everybody would agree with that. It's not, you don't want to hear they're doing something incorrect, but it's just a way to improve what you're doing, and it's something that we have to keep doing moving forward. And
it's not even what you're doing incorrect sometimes. It's just something you may have missed. It's something that could be better, at least as I perceive it, or as the other leaders in the organization perceive it. Mikaela, let me ask you this in terms of following up on that. What about if a leader says, you know what? Because we do a lot of coaching and we talk to people all the time, and there's a chapter in Lessons in Leadership that talks about this. There are some leaders that are so uncomfortable giving direct feedback because it makes, quote, the other person feel uncomfortable or they feel bad. I'm sitting there going, how the heck are we supposed to help people grow? You say?
I say that every leader is different. There's not one type of leader. And so, yes, it might make someone feel uncomfortable, but at the same time, you just have to kind of adjust with them. Certain feedback is portrayed different ways and just received different ways based on what type of leader that is. So really just working together and figure out the best way to communicate in terms of teaching a leader and being a leader.
All right, I'm going to go out on a limb here. This is uncut, also potentially for our leadership show. So I'm going to ask this question as we wrap this up. I keep giving feedback, but I also say that if you're a leader that wants to learn, you have to get feedback. You have to receive it. You have to be open to it. In a movie called A Few Good Men that all of you weren't, none of you were born when it was made, with Tom Cruise. Stop, Nicole.
I love that movie.
Okay. Okay, vintage, old school.
I love it.
Yeah. Okay, I don't know the year. Check out the year, somebody, when it was made. But Jack Nicholson on the witness stand, Tom Cruise as the prosecutor on behalf of the military, and he keeps saying because there was a young guy who was frankly killed, a soldier, and Cruise keeps saying as the attorney, I want the truth. And Erika, what is Nicholson saying to him back?
You can't handle the truth.
Well, I'm going to try to handle the truth right now. I'm not going to try to make this about, oh, thank you, Elvin. Thank you so much. By the way, Elvin, talk about multitasking. He's directing, but he also is in the chat room saying 1992. Thank you, my friend. Talk about a leader. That's Elvin. So ready? I want some feedback. What is one thing I could do better and need to do better as a leader that would help each one of you be better and frankly create a more positive mood? And don't say, stop sending emails at weird time on the weekends about some nitpicky issue, because I already know that. Erika, go first, because I know you won't hold back.
Wow, you're putting me on the spot here.
That's the point of Uncut and leadership.
I was actually going to say something along those lines, but not on the weekend.
No, say it then. Go ahead.
No,
Tell everyone what we're talking about.
No, I think it's maybe just sometimes like when things are sent or changed very, very late or early. That's the only thing, is sometimes timing, but that's also like we've adapted to that, I think, in the situations when it happens. So
you're saying, you know what's so interesting is I'm about to defend myself and say things change quickly. This particular interview was done because we had a gap in the taping schedule, wasn't planned, but I said, I feel it, I sense it, let's do it. And they're like, what are you doing? That's not on the schedule. Is that what you mean, Erika?
Yeah, sometimes. Like, this is fine because obviously we're all here and we're prepared, well, sort of prepared for this.
You're not prepared. I didn't tell you we were doing this.
Well, yeah, I know. I'm glad I wasn't wearing like my pajamas, but yeah, I think it would just be a timing thing sometimes. But like I said, we've all adapted to that. And I think we're all really good at adapting to such last minute changes.
Listen, you don't have to just give straight, hard to hear. I can handle the truth. Mikaela, you're up next.
I would say just trust us, like, and know that we got it. Like, yes, you do like to put your word in and say, oh, we have to do this now, like what's happening, like trust that we have already figured it out. And like, if we didn't, then like we'd take your feedback, but at the same time, like say there is a timing issue and that, hey, like there's this gap of time, what are we gonna do? Trust that we already have a process in place, and that we definitely accept what you're saying, but know that like we're already on board with you.
I just want to be clear. So you're saying trust that it will be done, even if my instincts tell me, prove it to me it's been done, verify it's been done, document it's been done, but my instincts tell me I don't know that it's been done. And you're saying trust us.
Yes, trust us. Yep.
You're up. I got it. Nicole, you've been with us the longest, as young as you are. One piece of feedback that would help me be a better leader, and this isn't about me, it's really just an attempt to let folks know that it's feedback is a two-way street. Go ahead, Nicole.
Of course. I guess I would actually combine both of Erika and Mikaela's feedback to say, taking a breath once in a while is okay. That's, I feel like we learned that. And if we have a couple minutes in a tape day to spare, it's not a big deal. I think that we are producing great content so much, so constantly, that if we have a little bit of downtime, that's not, and I don't mean it just on a tape day, but on a weekend, or, you know what I mean, on vacation, things like that, that's okay. I think we can all use a break once in a while.
You're saying that the staff needs more vacation time?
No, not at all.
Just to
But
chill sometimes.
on our vacation time or on the weekends, it's all okay. It's all okay to relax a bit, because we really do work super hard constantly. So.
Okay, Elvin, I see. So with this technology, the beauty of it is Elvin Badger, our director, who's making it all happen along with Frank Brown, is sending messages. And he just wrote, Elvin's part of this conversation. He goes, hey, Steve, Sundays are off. We're not working Sundays. Well said, Elvin. I will take that under advisement. I appreciate all the feedback. And thank you to Nicole, to Mikaela, to Erika, 3 terrific producers and leaders, not just of tomorrow, but leaders who are doing it every day, who make what we do possible. Because sometimes people go, oh yeah, Steve, I like that thing you did. Well, realize that if you see me doing, there's so many other leaders and talented people behind the scenes actually making it happen. Well done, team.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you.
You got it. Back to Mary now.